Hi, super second graders. It's Mrs. Schnall here, and I'm so excited to be reading with you today. We're going to read a book called The Matzah Ball Fairy. And in today's lesson, we're going to be looking at how the author makes the words jump off the page, come alive into our minds, and almost like creating a movie in our minds. So as we're reading the book, we're actually able to think about the words in a very descriptive way and create images in our minds as we read. We're going to look how the author, Carla Heimsfield, does this. She uses something called a simile. A simile is a technique that uses comparisons to create images in our minds. We're going to watch a little video to explain more about it. So take a look over here.
In this video, we are going to learn about similes. Similes are a lot of fun to use. In fact, you probably already use similes, maybe even without realizing it. You might be wondering, what are similes? How could I have used them if I don't even know what they are? Similes are actually a way of comparing two things. We compare things all of the time. Look at this comparison. The baby sleeps like a koala. In this sentence, we are comparing the baby to a koala. What's the comparison? That the baby sleeps like a koala. This is a comparison. Look at this comparison. His sister is as gentle as a lamb. His sister is as gentle as a lamb. The comparison is between his sister and the lamb. And the gentleness is what makes them similar. His sister is as gentle as a lamb. That's a comparison. Let's look at both of our comparisons again. The baby sleeps like a koala, and his sister is as gentle as a lamb. You want to know something interesting about these comparisons? These comparisons are similes. That's right. Both of these sentences are similes. You see, similes are comparisons that use the words like or as. If there's a comparison that uses the words like or as, then you know that that comparison is a simile. Look at this sentence. Learning is as easy as pie. Wow, learning is being compared to having pie. Easy as pie is a very common simile that means easy. Just like it's easy to eat pie, in this sentence, learning is as easy as pie. It's easy to learn. Learning is as easy as pie. This is a simile because it is a comparison using the word as. Remember, similes are comparisons that use the words like or as. Similes are a way of comparing things using the words like or as. Look at this simile. The strawberries are red like roses. The strawberries are red like roses. We know that this is a simile because it is a comparison, and notice the word like. The word like means, if it's a comparison, that it is a simile. The strawberries are being compared to the roses. And what do the strawberries have in common with the roses? Yeah, they're both red. The strawberries are red like the roses. This is a simile. Similes are easy to spot. A simile is a comparison and you're looking for one of two words. You're hunting for the word like or as. If the comparison uses either of these words, you know it's a simile. And what's cool is, now you can use the word like or the word as in your comparisons to make your very own similes. Isn't that awesome? Wow, he is as happy as a clam that he knows what similes are now. Get it? That's a simile because it uses the word as. You know, a comparison that uses the word like or as is a simile. He's as happy as a clam. He's as happy as a homeschool pop viewer, right? You know?
Okay, so now that we understand what a simile is, we're going to read the book, The Matzo Ball Fairy. And I want you to be thinking about when you hear the author using similes to compare things in order to give you a great picture in your mind about what's going on. We're going to do some together, okay? And then when you're finished, boys and girls, you are going to be able to look at the sheets that I gave you where it says a simile is a comparison of two things that uses the words like or as. So as colorful as crayons or colorful like crayons or as sweet as pie. And then for fun, when you're finished reading the story, you can create your own planet simile monster. You can make a creature in the box right here. You can draw a picture using the prompts here. So his body is thin as a pencil. I'm going to draw a very thin body because that is what a pencil is. His nose as purple as a plum. We're going to use these similes to create your planet simile monster. And when you're finished with that, I want you guys to take out the graphic organizer sheet that your teachers provided for you. It looks like this. We're going to be reading all the similes in the story, and we're going to be able to match the comparisons when we're done reading. Okay, and then at the end, sneak into your parents' kitchen, ask your parents for permission if you could taste one of their special Shabbos foods that they prepared, and you can come up with your own simile to describe what it tastes like. So maybe your mom's chocolate cake is as dark as a midnight sky. I'd love to see what you come up with. So here we go. Let's read the book together. The Matzo Ball Fairy by Carla Heimsfield. One by one, Frida Pinsky dropped her matzo balls into the big pot of chicken soup. It was the first night of Passover, and the whole Pinsky family was coming to Frida's house for the Seder. Please be light and fluffy, she pleaded as she stirred the matzo balls around the soup. Please puff up and float. But the matzo balls just sat at the bottom of the pot like dozens of little stones. I can picture in my mind exactly what those matzo balls looked like. Not light and fluffy like air, but like hard stones at the bottom of the pot. Notice the simile. Stones are hard? We'll compare them to her matzo balls. Suddenly, a soup bubbled and popped and splashed, and a tiny plump woman appeared next to Frida's stove. Startled, Frida jumped. Her soup ladle flew from her hands, pitching a matzo ball onto the counter with a wet thud. The tiny woman pointed a dimpled finger at the round lump. You call that a matzo ball? She gurgled. Who are you? Frida asked, now more amazed than frightened. I'm the matzo ball fairy, the woman sounded as she were speaking through water. I came in through the soup. As Frida stared, open-mouthed, first at her stew pot and then at the fairy, the little woman poked the matzo ball with her foot and said, it's like lead, isn't it? Boys and girls, we know that this is another simile. Lead is a type of metal that's very, very hard. Imagine eating a matzo ball that's like lead, kind of like what you find in your pencils. Not very good. Frida frowned. A real fairy would help, not make fun. But of course I'll help. That's why I'm here. The woman pulled a small envelope from her pocket. Here, she pushed it into Frida's hand. A pinch of this, and the matzo balls at your Seder will be the lightest, fluffiest matzo balls anywhere. Real magic. Frida couldn't wait. Holding the precious envelope in one hand, with the other she grabbed the matzo, the eggs, the oil, and measured them into a bowl. The fairy watched as Frida began to add the powdery grains of magic. Be careful, she warned. Use only one pinch. Frida nodded, but she wasn't really listening. She didn't even hear the matzo ball fairy splash back into the soup pot. Frida blended the magic powder into the batter. It made her spoon cut through the thick mixture as if it were whipped cream. Oh, I see the word as. It's doing another comparison. The matzah mixture was as if it were whipped cream. Think about how light and fluffy whipped cream is. And you can really paint a picture in your mind of exactly what that matzah batter looked like. If one pitch is this good, Frida said to herself, imagine how wonderful my matzo balls would be if I used a little more. and she stirred in 2 more pinches of the magic powder. I wonder what's going to happen. That night, all the Pinskys gathered around Frida's table for the Seder. When it was time for the soup, Uncle Sally's eyes opened up very wide. So did his mouth. He gobbled up 4 of Frida's matzo balls and asked for another. These are the lightest, fluffiest matzo balls I've ever tasted, he said as he patted his stomach. Sally's absolutely right, agreed the Pinskys from Vermont, taking second helpings. They taste lighter than air. Indeed, nodded the Pinskys from Florida as they held out their soup bowls for more. Even the Philadelphia Pinskys, who usually didn't eat much, asked for seconds. Frida beamed as she watched her family eat. Something very odd happened. Uncle Sally began to rise. At first it was only an inch or so, but soon he was hovering over the dining room table like a plump helicopter. Think about how a helicopter hovers over us in the sky, and that's exactly how the author is painting the picture of Uncle Sally. Get me down, he shouted. The Vermont Pinskys grabbed at his legs, but instead of pulling him down, they began to float up too. As they circled the chandelier, the Florida Pinskys, squealing loudly, joined them. What's going on? Uncle Daniel asked as he bounced gently along the ceiling. It's those matzo balls, Uncle Sally said. They were too light and fluffy. And you ate too many of them, his wife scolded. Having eaten only one, she was falling only a couple feet off the floor. The younger Pinskys swooped about, trying to catch each other. This is fun, they shrieked as they flew down the hall. Get down this instant, their parents ordered. But it was hopeless. The whole family was floating around Frida's house as if they were matzo balls in a pot of chicken soup. Imagine matzo balls floating in soup. There's that simile using the word as. The people, the family, the Pinsky family are floating around the air as if they're matzo balls in soup. Just how much powder did you put in the matzo balls? A gurgly voice whispered in Frida's ear. The fairy reappeared. Oh, thank heaven you're here, Frida cried. Help us. How can I get everyone back down? The fairy chewed her lip as she considered the problem. They are floating, she explained, because they ate something lighter than air. To come down, they have to eat something heavy. She looked around the kitchen. Her eyes lit up when she saw a pan full of Frida's potato kugel. There's your answer, she said, pointing to the pan. Your potato kugel will do it. Give everyone a little of that, and they'll come down. Frida cut the kugel into pieces, one for each floating Pinsky in the house. She dragged her kitchen stool into the dining room, stood up like a traffic officer. Like a traffic officer. Stand, guiding people, right? There's that other simile. And her relatives floated past, handing out the kugel. It worked. One bite of kugel and each fine Pinsky bumped back to the ground. This is the most remarkable Passover, Uncle Sally said when it was all over. Tell me, what did you put in those matzo balls? Everyone listened as Frida told them about her visit from the matzo ball fairy. When she finished, Frida looked around at her astonished family and said, I didn't mean to cause trouble. I just wanted to make light, fluffy matzo balls. Why didn't you ask me? Grandma Pinsky asked from the big armchair. I taught everyone in this family to make matzo balls. I would have taught you too. Oh, said Frida, it's not too late. Come see me tomorrow. Together we'll make matzo balls like magic, but without magic. And they did. Some girls making boys. We read a lot of examples of similes, comparisons. Didn't it help you paint the picture of what the author was trying to say? I was able to really visualize what was going on with those similes. So I want you guys to take out your sheet, the worksheet, and match up the similes from the story. And then create your own simile right here after you've tasted something special from the kitchen with your parents' permission, of course. And then for fun, if there's time, you may go ahead and draw a picture of your simile creature from Planet Simile. I wish you all a wonderful Shabbos and a happy Pesach. Your Pesach should be as wonderful as candy. Bye, boys and girls.